The Square Ball Podcast.
Welcome to the show. Dan here, along with Michael and Rob, as we do our weekly dose of propaganda, clips from around the football world. Do you know what the best thing about this show is?
The sponsor.
Correct. The fact that it's brought to you by Levi Solicitors is the right answer. Levi Solicitors. Why do you like them, Michael?
Personal dispute resolution. Just one of the reasons. Yeah. Residential conveyancing.
One of the many.
Lasting powers of attorney.
Don't look down. Now what can you say?
Will's probate conveyancing is all I can say when I don't look down. But loads of stuff. Legal stuff.
They do lots of legal stuff, and you don't have to go into their offices either. You can get remote appointments. There is an online booking system. LeviSolicitors.co.uk/the square ball. Get your 10% discount on your legal fees there. Right, we can finally do a happy propaganda.
Ah, what a relief.
Because we do, we've reshaped this show like it's about clips from around the football world. We can actually listen to the Leeds ones now because a nice thing happened at the weekend.
It's been that good. We've got two positive mega mixes this week.
The A side and the B side. Exactly.
The B side is Junior Firpo.
Right.
The A side is more just about general stuff.
It can be that, as was proven by the singles that came out in 1972, Play All the Way for Leeds United and Leeds marching on together. B side has been the one that's stuck, has been more popular over the years.
But arguably we're just saving the best to last with Firpo.
Yeah.
Because he deserves his own section this week, doesn't he?
You think so?
Yeah. Come on, if not now, when?
So this is a short mega mix. This is the game mega mix then. And it's quite a short one. It's like one of those songs from the 60s. 2 minutes and done. Should we have a listen then and just bask in a bit of happiness?
Not the reference I'd have made for 2 minutes and done, but there you go.
Here it is.
A must-win game, and we actually won it. Bloody hell, that was tense. Definitely inside the stadium in the first half. It was agony. But yeah, we just got the win, even in spite of the absolute dickhead of a ref. I don't get, overexcited over just one win, but I'm going to say it. Grossi is the second coming of Bielsa, and Firpo is the best left-back we've had since Tony Dorigo. The way the division is at the moment, just put together a few good wins in the next 5 games or so, and we could find ourselves mid-table and all look a lot better, so keep going, Leeds.
Oh my God. 1 a.m. here, and I think I've woken up the entire neighbourhood. But hey, it was worth it. We had a Premier League win. A Premier League win. West Aussie Leeds here saying we had a Premier League win. Why, oh why are sometimes we so negative? We're staying up, aren't we? Aren't we?
Thank God for that result. Jesus, we needed that. I don't know, every time they had the ball, I was worried. Every time we had the ball, I felt like we were going nowhere. It was great to see some good touches second half from McKinney and from Reuter as well. Hopefully this is just the first win of many. So marching on together, boys.
By no means perfect, but a lot of good stuff on display there. Reuter was very good when he came on. McKinney looked good. Some misplaced passes and things, but, fair play to him. He played well. All around, very good. Good man, Junior Firpo. Great to see the crowd chanting his name. All in all, extremely good. Gracia clearly knows what to do in the Premier League. His tactics seem to be a lot better than March, actually making adjustments and stuff during the game, shutting down Southampton quite well. So yeah, marching on together, up the lads.
What a relief it is to have a normal game, albeit a crap one, with a normal formation and normal football, and not everyone just twatting into the middle of the pitch and hoping for the best. Fair play to everybody. Absolutely fair play to Firpo. Thank God for that.
There we go.
Normal.
That was the word that Gracie's former player used to describe him. And I'm all up for a bit of normality until the end of the season.
Just do some normal stuff like trying to keep the ball.
Yeah.
Using the full width of the pitch.
All those crybabies who were going on about it being about Marsh's nationality and stuff, it wasn't. It was down to the football.
No.
And you know from watching decades of football that giving the ball away all the time, it's not that much fun to watch, is it?
No, not at all. And I had someone on Twitter, because I retweeted the thing, saying it was the best pass completion rate.
Are you about to dig them out here without any right of reply?
Exactly, yeah.
Oh, good lad. Using your platform wisely.
Saying, it's not fair to compare pass completion stats in this to Marsh's games because they're the worst team in the league. But, that's one game, and Marsh has had a lot of games, and it was 10% better than his recent efforts. So it's a fairly significant difference. And you can say it's a bad side, but it was better than when we played Watford and Norwich last year, who were both absolutely shit. Better than against Accrington, better than against Cardiff. So stuff did change. And you can argue about whether or not keeping possession and pass completion is necessarily a good metric, because you can boost those stats by just endlessly knocking it about the back, can't you? As, Yapstam's Reading situation. But it did make for a less stressful game because we just had the ball at times and didn't seem desperate to just ram it forward and get rid of it straight away.
And especially the difference going from Everton to that, because the Everton game, was abysmal. So yeah, it was that thing of just feeling normal again. It's funny hearing about the stress and the tension, because I've only caught up with the game this morning because I was away at the weekend. And it was weird. I really enjoyed just watching the game, knowing the result and taking all that out of it. And actually, watching it, we played well. They were fine. Like, it was just, everyone was very solid, I thought. Nobody was bad, nobody was great, but they all just did their jobs normally. And that's good.
A lack of clear-cut chances, probably.
Yeah.
Would be the main thing to criticise it for.
Southampton barely had anything either. So, and there was a few kind of half chances. I thought Leeds kept getting into good positions and maybe not quite finishing it off or creating things or finding that final pass. But for the main part, they were good.
Let's say from Dean Hammond then, given you've just watched this game and you've got a fresh view of it, because Dean Hammond is on a thing called the Saints view, which is a... Hamo. Dino.
Hammy?
You'd surely go Dino if you're Dean Hammond.
Dino.
Hamo, fair enough.
The hamster.
He's on an internal post-game thing for Southampton anyway. This was his view of it, and I just thought, what are you on about, Dino?
Bit of a non-event first half. Leeds probably the better team, had a few half chances. And then in the second half, I thought Southampton had control, really. Good moments of possession, good periods of possessions as well. There was a moment where I must have had 20, 30 passes, really, where Leeds couldn't get near them. And I thought, okay, they may be building something here, a bit of head of steam. But no real chances, to be honest, and no real openings for Southampton. Didn't carry the same threat as they did last week.
I didn't see the game like that. I admittedly have biases of my own, but...
No, Southampton didn't do anything.
No, I don't remember if they at one point strung 20 or 30 passes together. It must have been with so little threat that I was happy for them to do so, because I don't remember that at all.
No, that doesn't ring any bells with me. They're a funny one, Southampton, because all the talk of this new manager was that it was going to go back to the stuff they've been doing under Hasenhüttl, which had worked against Chelsea, and it was 4-2-2, 2-2, and all that. And then they got to half time against Leeds and had to change it because it wasn't working. And it was like, oh shit, we need something else actually now. Has anyone got any ideas?
I was listening to Total Saints. We got a clip from them in a bit, and one of the things they picked up on actually was about the tactics reverting back to Red Bull. But then one of the criticisms was there wasn't enough width, and we've now bought a big striker and we need to be getting crosses in. But because we play Red Bull football, it's all down the middle, and you think, yep, I remember all this. And you wanted Jesse Marsh last week. They're the people we heard from the previous week who were sort of going, well, they were talking themselves into it. In fairness, yeah. I think they're quite glad to have not got him because of the way he is.
Well put.
Yes, that was a good use of words there, Michael.
But anyway, Total Saints this week, completely slagging off Junior Firpo, which is not something Leeds fans have ever done.
How dare they?
Just talking about our goal.
I mean, if Bednarek takes one step forward, then he probably just blocks the shot and we get away with it because it was a terrible shot. Which you would expect from a left back who's never scored
on his right foot.
Yeah, on his weaker foot, you got a left back who most Leeds fans would say shouldn't be anywhere near their team, and yet we've let him scuff one in, and all of a sudden he's now the hero, and yeah, we've somehow managed to gift them a goal. I mean, I would imagine the point at which that ball crosses the line, it must have been on the ground in dead centre of the goal, and somehow we've let a P roller just
going at 5 miles an hour.
Yeah, it's just pathetic.
The Leeds reporters at Ellen Road were absolutely bamboozled that Junior Firpo had scored a goal. They couldn't believe what they'd seen.
That's not true, is it? We've been saying for a long time. We're championing his cause for.
I always loved him, and I thought that
weeks now.
I thought that was a very firmly hit shot. I could barely see it from behind that goal.
You understand the frustration, don't you? And when you're viewing opposition teams, you only ever sort of view them through the prism of what the general consensus seems to be, and it's often out of date because obviously Junior's a modern day hero.
He is now.
What was the song from the South Stand? Was it "You've Seen Firpo, Now Fuck Off Home"? It's fast.
Do we have the Firpo mega mix now then?
Oh, shall we? Are we shooting our bolt too early? If we
no, let's hear some good things about Firpo now.
Okay, fine. Here it comes.
Didn't I say last week that Firpo is a proper ray of sunshine in this relegation storm. And now look at him, scoring his first Premier League goal, ensuring that we beat Southampton, getting us the 3 points. We're out of the relegation zone, all thanks to him. And he genuinely looked good throughout that game. It wasn't just one moment. He looked brilliant. I'm so proud of him. He's such a good boy.
Who are these people that ever said Junior Firpo was shit? Because it was obvious to me that he was always the reincarnation of Roberto Carlos. But, that's just me. Anyway, 1-0. Great result. Abby Garcia. Let's keep going.
What the fuck is happened to Junior Firpo? In a good way. He was man of the match. And I was thinking that before the goal. And to think that I used to call him a
Junior Firpo is fucking brilliant.
Wow, that man has somehow found some form. Thought again he was probably best player on pitch, probably along with Robin Koch. I thought the way he dealt with everything in the first half was brilliant. I actually need to issue an apology to Jorginho Ruter. I don't think he's brilliant yet still, but I said some things last week that included maybe comparing him to J. Roy Grott, which I think after the performance he put in today, I can clearly say that this guy is going to be better than J. Roy Grott. So, sorry, Jorginho.
Things said in haste.
Good backtrack.
Yeah.
Do you know what, though? When presented with other evidence, it's good to go back, isn't it?
Yeah. Change your view.
Exactly. Speaking of which, I started off looking at some Matt Letizia stuff too. It was just too depressing to put in.
Right.
Because he's just fully bought into it. He's now doing loads of online stuff with just other conspiracy theorists. And he's basically into every conspiracy theory now.
He's found his niche, hasn't he?
He's gone beyond, because he started off with just COVID stuff, didn't he? But he's into all of them now.
Right.
It's weird.
It's going to be weird in 10 years' time where people are like, really weird that Matt Letizia used to play football, isn't it? Do you know, like David Icke would have been a goalkeeper. Oh, yeah, God, yeah, he was a footballer.
Just
a really good one, too.
Just go get a job.
Well, he did say...
He's bored, isn't he?
One of the things he said was his job was watching football, and then around COVID, he couldn't work because there was no football, so he started watching videos.
All right.
And he's essentially been radicalised since.
The woman at the start who said that Junior Firpo was a ray of sunshine.
And such a good boy.
He's such a good boy. I did enjoy that. Yeah, it was very maternalistic, was that, wasn't it? Said something that, relegation storm, I think was the phrase actually she used. What relegation storm? Jessie was right. There is no relegation storm.
It's behind us, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just cruising away from
That's it. It's in the rearview mirror, baby. Off we go.
Did you know J. Roy Grott is now in Japan?
I didn't know that.
No, I didn't either. He signed there for Kashiwa Reysol in this transfer window by the looks of it.
Has he scored for him yet?
Not played. Big in Japan, etc. For some J. Roy Grott content there.
Considering he was quite homesick, wasn't he? I think he found the adjustment of moving away from home to Leeds was difficult. Japan's quite a move, isn't it? I mean, obviously time's passed since.
He was in Denmark before that, so he's willing to travel. Still only 24, could make it somewhere.
Maybe we've got a buyback clause.
I mean, looking at his record, probably not.
I had quite high hopes for him.
He looked like a real athlete, didn't he? Because he was dead young, dead tall, really athletic looking. Then he got it was pretty much the first thing he did was throw that Middlesbrough player into the stand.
Yeah,
he did a big old shoulder barge, and you went, "My God, look at the strength of him!" And then he got the ball, and you went, "Oh."
Yeah, I remember his debut at Forest when he came on, and everyone was like, "God, look at him!" And then the left back just bounced off him. He's like, "God, we've found one. He's going to be amazing."
I was Forest. I was picturing a red shirt flying into the stand. But yeah, never mind J. Roy. But Ruter, he was much improved, wasn't he?
But Junior Firpo, though, yeah, well done, mate.
It's almost like you can't make a judgment after just 1 or 2 games.
Exactly. Victor Otter all right now? He signed him.
Yeah, I mean, he's evidently a good player, but I think what I was saying through the week, my fear with Leeds is that they're always building a future project, sometimes rather than taking care of the here and now. Not always, that's probably unfair. I realise that. And I was a little bit worried with Ruter that he might take a bit of time to get up to speed versus, just plucking a name out there like Danny Ings, for example, who is a ready-made, drop-him-in Premier League striker, scored a couple at the weekend, didn't he? And you just think, have we done a little bit too much can kicking? Have we kicked the can a bit too far down the road? But we won, didn't we? So it doesn't matter.
And he's still not scored, though, has he?
He'll score at Fulham tomorrow. He's going to start at Fulham and he's going to score a goal at least, if not more.
Fair enough. A couple of people on Victor Alter, actually. Holly asking what we thought of his dramatic reactions.
I will say this. I I think counselling would probably do Victor some good.
The
just to work through whatever it is that he needs to work through. He's a very emotional man.
Yeah, the camera cut to him at the start of the second half, and he looked like he wanted to just throw up at any point. Even then, he looked like he had really bad indigestion. He was sort of holding his chest and looked like he needed a big burp. But and then Kinnear was sat next to him, and he kind of looks the same as well.
Maybe it is a food issue because Moscow flagged ages ago that Angus Kinnear looks like he's always going to be sick.
There you go. I just thought he'd read his own programme notes, but yeah, I think it's a stressful time for them all, isn't it? I'm going to allow him a few tears once we've won a game. It's better that way than shouting at people, isn't it?
Because it constantly feels like everything's on the line. I don't think he does himself any favours with his responses to the crowd sometimes. But one thing I don't think you can ever doubt is that, and I include Radrizzani in this, is they want the best for Leeds. It's just I'm not sure if they always go about it in exactly the right way, but on a human level, you understand the reaction, even if you think, get it together a bit, Victor, there. But then again, I saw the state of me on Saturday, and I wasn't much better, albeit I wasn't crying yet.
I do wonder if you should watch some games on the telly.
A telly that would end up broken.
Just in the ground still, but just go watch it in the West Stand somewhere.
Special room.
For a little bit. Just so you can have a moment to yourself with some, with a bouncy castle in the room or something, maybe, so we can let off some steam.
I just hope for everyone's sake that we stay up this season and we can all just take a deep breath at the end of it and just say, okay, everyone got a little bit upset. We all said some things we might not have meant, and we just rebuild, for whatever the next lot bring.
The slightly missed bit on the Orta celebration after the goal was that there was Eddie Gray stood behind him, just giving it a big come on. And he thought, just chat to Eddie. He makes everything seems better and will reassure you, Victor. He knows what happens at this club. It'll be fine.
Anyway, while we've had our moments, Southampton, the point of this show is really just to anybody who's had it worse than us this weekend, we can listen to and enjoy their misery. Southampton, by definition, below us in the table, not very happy.
Accepting their relegation, which is good. I like to hear this in a rival.
They're at that stage of the grieving process.
Because the Southampton fans, they're being quite nice about it.
It's a bit of a mystery it's a bit of a miracle actually that we're still in touch, because for me we deserve to be 10 points adrift. It's so
there's that many, and that's terrible teams.
Someone could stay out this year. Yeah, someone could stay out this year with 33 points or something like that. But we don't deserve to stay up. We don't deserve to get out of the bottom three. And performances like yesterday and those other ones I mentioned earlier, they're the reason why. We just don't look like we've got it in us.
Stop being so bloody reasonable.
Good though.
Yeah,
I'd be happy to not let them not play the rest of their games if they want to just don't accept it.
Just
fine.
Forfeit.
Yeah, if two more teams could do that with them, that'd be great.
I mean, Watford and Norwich did it last year, didn't they? By this stage, they made it fairly clear they weren't going to bother staying up. So it's only right that someone does.
Yeah, and not us.
No, not us.
No.
If we, I'm not saying we won't go down, but if we do it, it'll be with tears and smashing stuff up. Probably.
Yeah. Oh, we'll be dreadful.
We'll do it properly.
Exactly.
Well, hopefully on the front page of the papers as well as the back. Great. What else should we chat about then? Do we want to move on to other people, or have we covered off the Leeds United stuff there?
I think there's a big question you're ignoring, which is McKennie a jacket potato?
Is McKennie a jacket potato?
Jelly asks. Well, he states McKennie is a jacket potato. Robust, fills a gap well, but as a single product, not remotely flash. The only excitement is ever going to come from the sides or toppings.
Interesting.
I'll let you tell his dad that he's a jacket potato, and he'll beat the shit out of you.
I think he's a bit more exotic than a jacket potato, isn't he?
Yeah, if some people did flag up actually that his pass completion was 91% after he said he couldn't pass.
I think with that midfield pair as well, they're just sort of tidily efficient, aren't they? Both of them.
I think sometimes you just need a jacket potato in midfield. We've been crying out for central midfielders for 2 years or whatever. This is what central midfielders look like. They just kind of get stuck in and keep the ball ticking over. It's not always the most glamorous position, but it's ranch dressing, isn't it? McKennie's really like it's maybe as a jacket spud with a bit of ranch dressing on it.
We were actually not in the jacket potato terms, but we were saying we need a bit of a Pablo chili and cheese, weren't we, on that midfield?
Yeah,
someone to pick passes and.
So if he is the jacket potato, yeah. So we need that little bit of chef's kiss on top. Yeah,
I'll put it all together. It's going to be delightful, but yeah, plain old spud. But I thought McKinney was pretty good, and he came in. I thought he did grow into the game as
Just
well.
some little moments as well. It's for me, it's about like his spatial awareness and his decision making seems to be pretty solid. And there were some nice things that he did in the heat of battle, where he just turned, out of trouble the right way. Just little things like that. I thought, yeah, don't mind that.
Admittedly, it was a game where you could get away with stuff because they were shite, which did help.
Yes.
Like I didn't realise how much money they paid for their massive striker as well.
Oh, really? How much?
I'm sure someone said it was £17 million they paid for him.
Yeah, he's bad.
He looked really bad, didn't he? He was like, he reminded me of, I likened him to Edgar Charney as just a big old lump up top, and you sort of think, is he good at anything? Because he didn't even seem to win any headers, did he? Despite being massive.
It's funny as well when you've got like a novelty player like that, because I think Southampton felt like, we need to put a cross in because we've got that big freak in the middle, and it really didn't work.
No, it's a bit like
Jay. He called somebody just who's a bit tall freak,
a big freak. He's called he is Tall Paul, though, isn't he? I think is his nickname.
Oh right, okay.
It was like when the Stoke game, first game under Bielsa, when Peter Crouch came on. It's the first time I'd seen him live, and you do think, bloody hell, he just doesn't look right.
I mean, we had Berardi marking him, who was like 5'8" as well,
climbing up his back,
which just added to the spectacle of it. But
great fun.
Yeah, it was good. I'd be happy to play against a striker like him every week.
There is a question from Weatherby Matt. Do we focus on playing football or do we dyche the fuck out of this? I think we're somewhere in between, aren't we? But slightly more pragmatic in terms of how we're organising. But we still looked to play football. Maybe you don't have to go full dyche ball.
I think, a mix just fine. And I'm also, the keeping it in corners thing we did. Like the last 5 minutes, we just saw out through a mixture of holding possession, which is something we haven't done, and keeping it in a corner. Like, that's fine.
I did like when Moscow touched on it on his match report that's on the website. Like we were saying that Jorginho Ruta was so effective at kind of holding onto the ball and dribbling out of that bit of trouble in the corner. He sort of accidentally found himself going towards goal. I think then he had to turn back out of it and go back to the corner again. It's like, oh no, I've created a chance here, but do we want to hold it? I think we do. There are a couple of people who wish us to all be miserable still. Wedge and Victor Plonker.
Yeah, Wedge saying, I didn't see too much of an immediate difference than what we were doing with Marsh. Not that I expected it, but a lot of people were saying that we looked different. We did well, but what a shit goal. We take it all day, but we really need to start breaking teams down and coming up with some sort of attacking shape.
It was interesting actually I did the Phil Hay show before we did this, like this morning, Monday morning, and Phil was saying that Gracia had mentioned in the post-match about just waiting for your moment, and he expected it to be a tight game, and when we got our chance, we'd have to take it. And that's basically how the game panned out.
Yeah, I think, like we were just saying then about the style of play and kind of being in between, that's kind of Gracia's sort of thing, is like just come into the squad and see what the style of play already is and see how the players are used to playing and just kind of build on that and tweak things, which is kind of, I thought we did see a lot of things that were probably similar to how we played under Marsh or Scoobs, but there were just little tweaks, maybe like positionally, not massive, but even one thing that I absolutely loved and nearly had me weeping with joy was Melier rolling the ball out quickly once he claimed across to Adams, and I think it only happened once.
Trying to catch him in transition, yeah.
Yeah, and it was just, under Marsh, we were struggling so much to build the ball up from defence through midfield into attack, and doing that thing of slowing it down, it just always really frustrated me because I didn't think it made sense. Whereas Melier rolled it out to Tyler Adams. Adams just had loads of space in front of him, dribbled forward, and it's one pass, and we were immediately into Southampton's half. And I don't think anything really came of it, but you just thought, that's making things easier for yourself. Like, you're not having to slow down and just get all confused and stressed. Like, there you go. Just do the simple, easy, normal thing, and it makes a big difference.
Reducing the stress is interesting with the keeping possession bit as well, because constantly having to try and play a ball through when it's not on, but with that being your instruction, and then having to lose it and regain possession, that is stressful. Like, footballers are quite comfortable having the ball and just biding their time with it. It felt like we've been so rushed for a full year that just having someone go, you don't have to do that. If there's not a pass through the middle, don't pass it through the middle, obviously.
While simultaneously preaching that 100 to 70 mantra of when we were winning the ball back and in our own area, Melier would hold on to it and not bowl it out quickly, which gave the opposition the perfect chance to fall back into their positions and formation to defend against us, thus making it doubly hard for yourself when you're trying to force your way through. Whereas if you've got it moving quicker and trying to catch them on the back foot, or transition as the cool kids would call it these days, then you do make it easy for yourself. Yes, was nice to see. Should we laugh at some other fans?
Yeah, go on. Who do you want to go for first? We got Newcastle, Liverpool, or Everton?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sort of always wary of laughing at people who get to cup finals because I won't mind being in a cup final. We might yet get to one and we might lose.
We were saying before we were recording, the sort of sneering at Man United, going, fine, your League Cup, brilliant, well done you. And then thinking, I'd like to win the league.
I can't be the only one, though, who it felt a bit like Sophie's Choice, who was going to, who you wanted to win that. Or it was more a case of he wanted to lose it. I didn't really want anyone to win it. And when I stayed for I think I saw Bruno Guimaraes crying and then turned it off. I was like, that's what I needed to see. I just needed some tears, and I'll turn it off.
I didn't watch the last 10 minutes.
I didn't see any of it, but yeah, I didn't want Scum to win, but I was quite up for the idea of Newcastle losing. I just wanted to see a topless Geordie crying, basically. That's all I wanted.
Well, I found one with a shirt on crying. So we'll start actually this bit with a famous TalkSport clip. It must be at least 10 years old, I reckon this. It's Mickey Quinn on, I don't know what they're talking about, but a Newcastle fan rings up. I think he's bemoaning the lack of strikers at Newcastle now and comparing them to Mickey Quinn, but he gets quite emotional.
That's Mickey Quinn, who scored 4. Was it his debut for them in 1989 in the 5-2 defeat in the opener of the season that we got promoted from the Division 2? Right, here we go.
William's in Tyneside. Hi, William, you're on TalkSport.
Hello.
Hello, William. Happy New Year to you.
Hiya.
What's your point, mate?
There's 2 points I'd like to make about Mickey.
Mm-hmm.
He played for Newcastle United, quite a few years ago.
Yeah.
And I didn't realise how good he was.
Oh, you're missing him. You're missing him clearly, based on what you got now.
God, he scored so many goals.
So that was then. This is second clip is from Trafalgar Square. But this is ahead of the game.
Is this for some reason? It was on Sky Sports, this clip?
Yeah, for some reason it's the North East thing. Sunderland do it too. They always go to Trafalgar Square when they go to London. Go to pub lads. Anyway, this is the same bloke, possibly.
I would go as far as to say as Newcastle went to Trafalgar Square because Sunderland went there and they wanted to outdo him.
Probably, yeah. Also, Sunderland have done it when it's been playoffs and stuff recently, haven't they?
Yeah, that's when I think it happened. Yeah,
which is when it's warm. Whereas going to stand outside when it's like 6 degrees.
That's what they used to in Newcastle.
Just go inside, lads. Anyway, I wonder if it's the same bloke, because he was quite emotional before the game, was this fella.
Let's go and have a word with a couple of them. Sir, how are you feeling today?
Nervous. Really nervous.
Nervous? You're looking emotional.
I am. 60 years since I started following you guys. It's in the blood. It's really in the blood.
Are you confident that Newcastle will get over the line?
Not bothered. We're here. It's the start of a journey. We're going.
I mean, I've been emotional at football before. I remember, the first post-pandemic game against Everton when we were back in Ellen Road properly. I found myself tearing up quite a bit then when Marching On Together came over the tannoy.
In a moment of high emotion, though, I wouldn't volunteer to do a live interview with Sky, because it's not like he loses it either. Halfway through, he starts, he goes, "You all right, mate?" And he goes, "No! Oh, God!"
I'm completely bereft. Get that camera on me now.
Anyway, thankfully, he didn't care if they won or not.
It's just about being there, wasn't it?
Start of a journey, hopefully a journey to some prosecutions. For financial fair play.
Yes, indeed. Shall we dive into another little mega mix then? A Scouse mega mix? Such a special mega mix.
Such a special mega mix. We've got our Jordanian friend. He's going to be an extra this week.
Okay.
I thought I'd have someone different in this show. This is the Red Man. You may have seen Liverpool hilariously went 2-0 up against Real Madrid and then lost 5-2. So this is just the progression of those goals going in that you can hear.
Goes inside.
Oh, yes! I do that! Oh, yeah! Yeah! Oh, you man! One! Talk to me now! Oh!
3 minutes in, Darwin Núñez puts Liverpool 1-0 up. Oh my God,
That's what we didn't have in the final. Oh, boy!
Oh, yeah!
Oh my God! Punish them! Punish these bastards! Come on!
Thibaut Courtois has shit the bed. It's an absolute shambles of a goal from Real Madrid. Liverpool don't give one flying toss because Mohamed Salah pokes it in.
Liverpool 1-2's playing really intricate football.
It's the box shot.
Oh, fuck me! There, see, we just said that shit right there. Kawi, you don't save them. You do not save them. This game is going to be a basketball game, Steve.
That is some goal from Vinicius. Wait, oh no! Oh no!
I can't believe what I'm watching. I honestly can't believe what I'm watching. That was all Bajcetic, just like...
It was fucking awesome.
Well, yeah,
Oh, Madrid, it's 2-2.
Fucking stay switched on, boys. Like, I told you this game was going to be a fucking roller coaster of emotions, and I'm sat here feeling like shit now. Come on!
Gets worse, lads.
Luka Modric's cross. Fuck. And from 2-0 up, Liverpool 3-2 down.
Militao, what a goal. Just two fucking easy set pieces, just killing us again.
It's a sucker punch at the start of the second half.
You're trying to put me in an early grave, bro. I used to like Madrid when I was a kid. I can't stand them now, you know.
You go back to Benzema, short deflection, fuck off!
Yeah. Jeez.
So fucking spawny.
And Joe Gomez looks like fucking hell. What? I even want to lose my shit, bro.
Benzema goal, but
he's done fuck all night. He's been as fucking quiet as a mouse.
Benzema, round Alisson, and scores.
I'm done. I'm out of here. That is a fucking liberty. Are you taking the piss out of my life?
That's shocking.
That is unbelievable. That is well done, Real Madrid. You've absolutely took the piss. You've let yourselves down massively. Hang your heads in shame.
Feels like tie over now.
Football, eh, lads?
Quite a roller coaster.
He said it was going to be a roller coaster.
He did. I don't think he. Roller coasters are up and down, though, aren't they? Normally, that was
just a single up and then down.
Yeah,
and then a long way down.
Yeah, they're down again, a bit further.
Oh, bless them.
Oh well,
they'll be all right, won't they?
I mean, they might not be actually. They're doing quite badly, aren't they?
That'd be funny. Yeah.
It's good value between them and Chelsea, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I'm going to probably save a bit of Chelsea for the Chelsea preview later in the week, maybe, because there was just too much upset to put in a single podcast.
Really?
Here. So, yeah, I mean, they're not happy, is the short version.
Mm-hmm.
And we heard from Chelsea last week, didn't we?
Was that the one where somebody fired a gun out of a window?
That was later in the week. The one we listened to was where they were calling each other pedos, and I mean that seems to be the way everything heads these days.
Yeah.
So there was that the protest outside the immigrants' hotel in Rotherham, and there was a report of that, and the little still of it was said both sides are now calling each other paedophiles. was at the bottom of it because there was a counter protest.
Right.
Anyways, the way it goes. But what I've taken from the Chelsea spaces, and then this one from Everton, I'm not sure Twitter spaces are a good place for reasoned debate and discussion.
Should we start one?
No, let's just listen to the Everton one instead.
This is the reason why not.
Because you don't go to the match. What if you wanted the 20,000 waiting for the season ticket? I've been watching Everton for 60 years, mate, so you can't tell me I don't go to the game.
Why on this space after 2 minutes? You can't even get a signal, you mong.
You're on the fucking space, you little kids.
Yeah, because I'm here to rip certain people like Dan's space, lad, who don't go to the fucking game, who chat shit like you do. So fucking do one.
I tell you what, why don't you go to the cock buffet, grab a hot
You're all
plate,
foreigners, lad. You don't even speak fucking Scouse, so fuck off.
Oh, fuck off yourself.
I don't
have
know,
a fucking purple bin, you thick-headed twat, doesn't mean that I don't love fucking Everton. So like I said,
you're all foreigners, fuck off.
Fucking ping you off. Ping you off. Who's a foreigner? Let's fucking scout yourself.
You don't go to the fucking game.
Probably some fucking witness, you little bell end.
you must be as thick as you fucking sound. Thicker than fucking pig shite, you ignorant piece of shit.
Fuck off.
Oh, don't you get rid of whoever's doing that.
Fuck off. English, race. You pedo.
Lads, go and get back on the beds, you soft.
Let's go to the beds, you fucking split.
Split.
You all look after Big D, Dan's space, lad, fucking sound. Big D doesn't even know the game, he's a bus driver. Oh, fuck off.
I'm not sure quite what was going on there. I just had a lot of back and forth of insults.
You're probably from Widnes was my favourite insult. I don't know if that's a bad thing. Accusing someone of being a bus driver as well.
That's great fun, that.
Good though.
You can't. I love the childishness of just going. Like, you can't come back from that.
Very good though. Everton lost, though, didn't they?
They did lose, yeah. Suddenly the old new manager bounces over. Thankfully, we're not going to experience anything along those lines, are we?
Should be illegal.
No, some more propaganda over on Propaganda Extra, some bonus clips and bits and whatnot. And we'll reconvene over there. What else we got coming this week? Match ball after the Fulham game, of course. Late into the night. Hopefully it doesn't go to penalties, otherwise we might set the alarms off here.
Oh, God, that's true. I thought about that. Might be either in an alarmed building with them roaring away in the background or us in a car. So we'll see how we get on.
Locked in for the night. Right, thank you for joining us on this one, watching and listening. We will speak to you soon.
The Square Ball Podcast.